Holy crap, this thing looks insane. What's going on, guys? So I know I probably tricked a couple people in the last video because we had the lift kit in the back of Chomper, but cat's out of the bag. We're actually lifting the Duramax. So for anyone new, I got a 7-9 FTS. This is going to be my first lift kit, so I figured we had to go big, had to get the FTS, and I haven't seen any cat-eye Duramaxes with the FTS on it. I've seen a couple of the gassers, and that's it. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure some people have it, but as far as YouTube and stuff, I have not seen any cat-eye Duramaxes with this FTS kit on here. So I'm super excited. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be unique, and we're gonna stuff some awesome wheels and tires on this thing for sure. So I guess one last look on the beautiful leveled 35s, glorious, perfect daily driver setup. But I knew from the get-go, getting another diesel, we had to go big with this one. We're officially in spaceship mode, and I also went ahead and disconnected the negative terminals on our battery. Next up, gotta snatch off those skid plates. Now it's time to take our torsion bars and torsion bar cross member off. Well, that's one way for it to come out. I'm gonna push it all the way forward, both sides, so that we don't have anything in this cross member. We can go ahead and remove this. You got one 13/16 bolt on each side of this cross member. Should be able to slip this side up, over, and get it out of there. There we go. Now we should be able to just slide our torsion bars out carefully because they weigh a ton. We're gonna clean up all this crap while we get it off as well. And we're gonna mark it, not that I know that it matters, but this is the passenger side. And we're gonna mark it as such so it goes back in the same one. Here we go. Unplugged my ABS line from up there, undid it on the back here. Just got it folded out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and pull the CV axle out before we take the brakes off. So a little flathead action, get this cap off. Go ahead and stick your flathead in your rotor. I'm going to take this spindle nut off. That is a 15 mil, just like these bolts. Slide it out. $18 mil for your brake caliper bolts. We're just gonna let's go ahead and take the pads off. And then you got two 13/16 bolts holding this bracket on. And slide our rotors off. Go ahead and remove your cotter pins from your upper and lower if you have them. This top one is a 7/8. Our lower is going to be a 15/16. Loosen it. Sorry, I think my hat was in the way, but y'all know what to do. I'm going to go ahead and drop this whole lower control arm with the hub and everything, and then I'll be able to hit it with the hammer once it's off. Pop this off, but it is a 15/16 and an 18 mil on those bolts on the inside. And then I'll get this whole thing out, catch up with y'all after. Mosquitoes got after me last night, but we got quite a bit knocked out. Let me catch y'all up. So we got this whole side torn down minus the shock. I just got to pop the hood and get those two off. Everything down below is free. I went ahead and unplugged our four-wheel drive switch right here. I got to get the top one. It's got like a Christmas tree stuck in it or a little clamp that I got to figure out how to undo. So everything up front is good. I went ahead and unattached our front drive shaft. Let me show you. It's got these 11 mil right here. They're barely even on there, honestly. I went on and unbolted those, and then just take you a flathead or something and pry this back some. So it should go back in the same way. Booyah. Front drive shaft is out. Time to get this front diff out. We're gonna start by removing this cross member. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 18mm bolts. So this upper differential bolt is not fun because you gotta hold the back side. So just wanna show y'all, I got that snaked in at that angle, and this bar is actually holding it. And then I'm just very meticulously, nice and slow. It will eventually come out. You gotta get that off if you're gonna drop the diff, but I don't have a pickle for it with me, and that stupid thing is on there for good. So I decided to go ahead and just cut the second cross member, because you got to do this anyways. And I'm hoping this should just fall straight out. So that's what we're going to try. All right, hold up. Oh gosh. All right, easy.
What?
Slow, go down. Not yet.
Yeah?
Yep, it is. Keep going.
More?
Yep, a little bit. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh.
I'm scared.
No, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want it to crush you.
Oh, I'm good. Keep going. Go.
I'm trying.
Go, go, go.
Is it going?
Yes. Go. All the way. Woo! She's down. Figured I'd do a little cleaning on these parts while I had them out, and holy crap. Like 10 seconds of degreaser and a quick pressure wash. Yeah, she's gonna come out pretty clean, I feel. Update. Got the rear cross member in using the factory bolts. It's not tightened down yet. Got the bump stop brackets in, they're snugged up. Got the passenger side diff bracket in. It's not tight, it's loose in there because we want to make sure everything sits in nice and happy. Now we got to put the diff in, then we'll put the front plate in, and then we'll put the upper diff mount, which connects from the diff to the front plate. And then it's going to be time to start throwing a lot of this front end back together. And then we do have to put our torsion bar drop bracket extenders on, so we do have to drill those out. But good thing about the FTS is you don't have to cut any of your front diff. It's going to go straight back in there as is from the factory. Front cross member is officially in and looking absolutely amazing. I'm so freaking stoked. But we finally got the diff in. That was a pain in the butt. That freaking thing is heavy and cumbersome. But basically we lifted it, and then I bolted in the passenger side to bring that side up, and then got it to line up and got it bolted in right there. Once we got that all lined up, squared away, had to pull that passenger side forward a little bit to get the alignment good. And then we got the front plate in, and then this mounts directly to the plate. We've got the rear tightened down, following the instructions, of course. I just threw the lower control arms on. Haven't plugged anything up or anything like that, tightened any of this down. But basically it's just throw this all back together and tighten it down, torque it down, and then we can tomorrow do our drop bracket for the torsion bars. A little side by side between the stock spindles and our new FTS spindles. Got our hub swapped over. Time to throw them in. And just like that, we got our spindle in. Tie rod on, which I think you're supposed to swap to the top side because it's, you know, going up from factory, but then with the lift, I think it's supposed to go down. I gotta double check on that. Got our vent hose plugged back in, our four-wheel drive, the electrical plug plugged back in. Got everything tightened down, drop bracket wise. Got our drive shaft back in. Now I just got to throw the rotors, the brake calipers, and our sway bar end links on, and I'll catch up with y'all after that. Whole front end, aside from that outside cap, is buttoned up. I'm gonna go back and ensure everything is properly torqued and everything, but all is there. Laying here taking a little break for the torsion bar drop bracket. And we got a nice little view of Fts Lift Kit. So comment down below, powder coat or chrome. I know you can't really see mine. It's up there. There it is somewhere. Powder coat or chrome. We just got our torsion bar cross member drop in. You basically just line it up with the original mounts, which are right there. Mark it, drill 2 holes, 7/16 I believe bit, and then mount this guy and then tighten these down. Pro tip for anyone that's actually installing this themselves, go ahead and slide your torsion bars through before you do the drop bracket, because in the instructions it says the opposite, but I had to take all this down because the torsion bar I'd have to have above or below, and it wouldn't go through the A-arms because obviously it's at like an angle where it's got to go in straight. So I went ahead, took this down, pushed the torsion bar through the A-arm far enough to clear this, put this back in there, and then slid it back. Now we're all good. Got the key in there, just got to use our key tool, push this up, get our little lock thing in there, screw our bolt in, and then finally we are I think completed on the front. Everybody knows how to throw blocks in, right? Take the 4 U-bolts out, swap your blocks, put it back, and that's pretty much it for this kit, as well as the shocks. But you know, that's pretty basic. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap in, well, not swap out, just add a block, swap our shocks, and then do all that with the spacers. And I guess I'll catch up with y'all for a reveal of the truck sitting on the full FTS lift kit. Bruh, holy crap, this thing looks insane. It's the Tooted D-Max. We got some watches. Tooted up! Unreal. We'll pull it out. That's one good way to test to see if I hook the full drive system back up, right? I did. I'm freaking out, dude. It looks so incredibly good. My phone's trying to overheat. It's like 100 today. So hopefully the video doesn't mess up, but dude, it is literally perfect. I know a lot of y'all thought I was lifting Chomper, a ton of y'all. Hopefully y'all are excited, because I did see some people that were saying they were gonna be sad to see Chomper lifted and not the LBZ. Well, surprise, surprise. It is in fact the LBZ, and she's huge. She is huge. I just can't believe how small it makes these 35s. Knox absolutely loves it. He cannot wait for the big tires. He's been calling it the monster truck, but he wants monster truck tires on it. Stance came out pretty much perfect. We got the 3-inch spacers on the rear, 1.5 inch on the front. Makes it pretty much dead even. We did have to run the spacers on the front because of clearance with these wheels not having the offset. It was going to be hitting our uppers or our spindle there. So 1.5 inch front, 3-inch rear, equal it out, sits perfect. I don't think this lift pushes it out any. I think it is exact width that it was before. I may be wrong, but before it was right outside the fenders, and now it's like 1.5 inches outside the fenders farther than it was. So I don't think it did, which I'm fine with. That front plate, holy crap, it's perfect. It's right at the bumper cutoff. Let me show you how this one survived. Our gold one, how did it survive? First job, she's about silver. All the gold is about worn off. That's a bunch of baloney. But I thought that was funny. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Dude, I have to literally jump in this thing now for real. It is so tall. Washing it is already a nightmare. I had to get me a stool out. Yes, I know. I can wash from, you know, put my hand up here. So no, I cannot reach the top of the truck anymore. So as far as people concerned about cutting your truck, it's not that big a deal, in my eyes at least. You do have to do the 2 holes. You got to drill those. That's no big deal. If you took that off, it wouldn't matter if there was 2 holes drilled there. Now, a lot of people are going to be scared of that differential, or the 4-wheel drive piece. So if you cut it like I did, 1 clean cut straight across, if I ever want to put it back to stock, I can totally go get this welded in. Shouldn't be any issue. And then the 4-wheel drive diff should bolt right back up. Oh gosh, I'm about to break my freaking thing. Should bolt right up. No problem whatsoever. So that's the biggest thing. I know I didn't film that because I was under the truck, but yeah, it's no big deal to cut it. Especially if you manage to get the diff out before, it'd be even easier. But I did it with a diff in and it was still no problem. Just get you a fresh blade made for cutting metal and zip on through her. Oh, I'm ready to get in alignment and actually enjoy driving this thing. 2 full days, you could get this lift kit in there. Maybe sooner than that. You know, obviously if you're like at a shop, or you got a shop, you got access to it, got a couple buddies that know what they're doing, you could probably get it knocked out in 1 day, or if this isn't the first time you're doing it. But I would say I'd feel comfortable doing it in 2 days. It took me like 4 half days. One of the good things about the FTS is you don't have to cut your front diff, because it does drop it down low enough. That's a huge thing. So it's totally stock diff. Didn't have to cut the cooling fans off or anything. That's a big deal. Saves you some time, save you some worry. So yeah, I am stoked. My freaking sunroof quit closing the other day. Like I got done with the lift, parked it, go to shut my sunroof, and it wouldn't shut. I asked Jacob, I was like, what'd you do? Because I remember him saying his sunroof didn't, and he said he punched the crap out of it. So I bare knuckled, punched the crap out of my little motor through the headliner, and sure enough, she closed. So the old trucks, man, you just gotta manhandle them. What do y'all think about the height front to rear? I think it's pretty much spot on. Once we get some big tires on here, I think it'll be appropriate. I don't think it looks perfectly level to me, maybe just a touch lower in the back, which I'm fine with. I did not want it sitting butt high, and that's just with the FTS blocks and shocks in the rear. That's the only thing we changed. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna go get an alignment, double check our bolts and everything. Got a couple things we gotta do with the truck, so I'll catch up with y'all then.